Now, it's been almost a year, like I was saying, almost a year since the Prime Minister, Mr Albanese, promised to establish a royal commission into our nation's pandemic response. Almost a year. Where is our royal commission? Now, I know things move slowly in this place, but the Prime Minister promised this in August last year. He said a royal commission or something equivalent would be set up, and I'll quote him here. He said, as soon as practicable. Now, when might as soon as practicable be, Prime Minister? How long are we going to have to wait? It's been 18 months now, 18 months since Labor Minister Katy Gallagher backed a royal commission into the pandemic response. Now, Minister Gallagher told the Sydney Morning Herald last year that she was firmly of the view that a royal commission was the right thing to do. That's what she said. And I agree. Most Australians agree. So where is it? It was also Minister Gallagher who last year said that we need to know, and I'll quote her here, I'll quote, who was advising, what they were advising, whether the government took that advice at critical parts of the pandemic is all unclear because we haven't been given access to that information. And we think the government's response has been characterised by a failure to be prepared, a failure to take responsibility, and then a failure to get it right. End quotes. Now, Minister Gallagher was previously the chair of a COVID-19 committee which recommended that we have a royal commission. So whilst in opposition, the minister was a supporter of a royal commission, but now it seems like the urgency has evaporated. Why, Minister? Why has it evaporated? The Australian people, we need answers. We need answers. We need the power of a royal commission to compel witnesses and, of course, the production of documents. We need the truth, and we need to hold those in power to account. We need to learn from all the mistakes made and never to repeat them. And, my God, there were some mistakes made. Now, the World Health Organization declared the pandemic over back in May. Now is as good a time as any to have this commission. Now, the chief health officers, the state premiers, they're retiring, they're walking away, they're exiting their positions. Quick succession, I think. Now, we must not let them get away with what they did during the pandemic, the human rights abuses, the weaponisation of fear, the lockdowns, the closing of borders, and obviously the inhumane vaccine mandates. Unexplained excess mortality is the elephant in the room. Cancer, diabetes, dementia, cardiovascular-related deaths, it's all spiked. Now, I have previously attempted to create a committee to investigate this, but it was voted down by almost every single senator in this place. What a shame that was. Now, we purchased 318 million doses of vaccine at a cost of around $10 billion, and around 68 million doses have been administered. That is approximately 250 million doses wasted, flushed down the drain, to the tune of $8 billion. Now, most Australians have caught COVID anyway. The vaccines do not work. We spent hundreds of billions of dollars on the COVID pandemic response measures, and all we have to show for it is out-of-control inflation, excessive government debt, and the guarantee of high taxes for the next generation. My home state of Victoria was the most locked-down state in the world. Victorians like myself will never forget these inhumane and ineffective measures for the rest of our lives. We'll never forget. Now, we call on the Labor government to honour their promise, honour the promise, establish a royal commission into the pandemic response immediately. You said it should happen. You previously said it should happen. You said it was the right thing to do. You promised it as soon as practicable. Let's give people answers. Establish a royal commission now. Let's make sure that this never happens again. Let's protect our people from gross mismanagement.
Thank you, Senator. Your time has expired. While I rise to speak in support of Senator Babette's motion, it has become more urgent after revelations the Australian government ordered social media platforms to suppress the free speech of Australian citizens during the pandemic. Australian governments have much to answer for. The Prime Minister has promised a Royal Commission into the pandemic, but is yet to deliver.
In January 2022, then Anthony Albanese told the National Press Club it is beyond comprehension this government has refused to learn from this pandemic. Yet here we have a new government. There was a Senate Select Committee which delivered its report in April 2023. There were 19 recommendations. One of those recommendations was to set up a Royal Commission.
I too support this motion and believe that we need a Royal Commission into COVID. I'd also like a Senate inquiry into COVID as well, whether or not coronavirus was deliberately made. Was there a deliberate cover-up? We need to look at the censorship that was involved with COVID. Anyone that questioned the narrative of COVID was censored. That's not the way science is conducted. Science should always be open to scrutiny.
Deputy President, well, we need a Royal Commission right away because people are still dying and we don't know why. That's the fundamental reason we should have this inquiry sooner rather than later. The statistics don't lie. We've got, unfortunately, tragically, deaths in this country running at levels we've never seen before outside of war. Deaths, or so-called excess deaths, the number of deaths above which is expected. Some people that were responsible for the policies of the pandemic might be a little afraid that the answers might embarrass the decisions they made. That is no good reason not to have an inquiry.
Thank you, Chair, and I rise too to speak in support of Senator Babette's matter of public importance seeking a Royal Commission, because in 2020 and 2021, anyone who questioned or criticised the lockdowns in this country was called an anti-vaxxer and a threat to public health. But I mean, I've noticed since those days that there are members of the public, members of parliament, media commentators, many of them over here, by the way, who, Senator Rennick, did now seek to duck and weave and have forgotten all about that. They've gone rather quiet on the subject, and we want to know what's happened. Today, I stand here in the last 20 seconds to support Senator Babette's call for a Royal Commission, to support all of my colleagues that have continued to call for this Royal Commission. It's time the Albanese government put its money where its mouth is and called a Royal Commission so we can get to the bottom of some of this.
So I put the question. Those in support of the UAP urgency motion say aye. Aye. To the contrary, no. No. I think the ayes have it.
Noes have it.
Division required? Yes. Ring the bells for 4 minutes.
The urgency motion is moved by Senator Babette be agreed to. The ayes shall move to the right of the chair, the noes to the left. I appoint Senator O'Sullivan as teller for the ayes and Senator Pratt as teller for the noes. Order. There being 28 ayes and 29 noes, the matter is resolved in the negative.